Ever wondered why Starbucks, a coffee chain, has become a global sensation? This isn't just about great coffee. Oh no, it's a tale of strategic brilliance, of an experience meticulously crafted, and of a brand that has woven itself into the fabric of our day-to-day lives. Starbucks isn't just another coffee chain, it's a phenomenon. With over 30,000 stores dotting the globe, it's an empire that spans 70 countries. From the bustling heart of New York City to the tranquil waterfront of Sydney, Australia, the Starbucks brand is as ubiquitous as the air we breathe. But what makes Starbucks so irresistible? First, let's talk about the unique Starbucks experience. When you step into a Starbucks store, you're stepping into a world designed to engage your senses. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee, the gentle hum of conversation, and the barista calling out your name as they hand you your customized drink. It's a sensory symphony that's hard to resist, yet the magic isn't confined to the stores. Starbucks has also innovated in the realm of marketing. They've mastered the art of creating a sense of community among their customers. Through their rewards program, they foster a sense of belonging, making every customer feel like a valued part of the Starbucks family. Their seasonal offerings, like the Pumpkin Spice Latte, create a buzz of anticipation, making Starbucks a part of our seasonal rituals. But it's not just about the coffee or the experience. Starbucks has also positioned itself as a socially conscious brand. They've pledged to hire veterans, refugees, and young people seeking employment. They've committed to reducing their environmental footprint. Through these initiatives, they've woven their brand into our collective social conscience, making Starbucks not just a coffee chain, but a part of our identity. Starbucks has become a global sensation, a beacon of coffee culture, and a symbol of our times, yet one can't help but wonder, but is there a darker reality behind this iconic coffee empire? As we peel back the layers, we might just find that not everything is as it seems, but that, dear listener, is a story for another scene. Behind the frothy lattes and cozy ambiance, there's a less savory story brewing. It's a tale of the humble coffee bean, the very heart of our beloved Starbucks experience. But where does this bean come from? What's the journey it undertakes before it ends up in your morning cup? Let's start with sourcing. Starbucks, like many other global coffee chains, sources its beans from various parts of the world, primarily Latin America, Africa, and Asia. But the bitter truth is, the farmers who painstakingly grow these beans often receive a fraction of the price you pay for your coffee. The disparity is stark. While Starbucks rakes in billions in profits, the farmers who provide the essential ingredient for your favorite beverage struggle to make ends meet. And then there's the environmental impact. Coffee cultivation, particularly at the scale required to supply a behemoth like Starbucks, has significant consequences. Deforestation, soil degradation, and water pollution are just some of the environmental costs of our caffeine addiction. The lush tropical forests that were once home to a diverse range of flora and fauna are now replaced with swaths of coffee plantations. But wait, there's more. The use of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, often employed to increase yield, further contributes to the environmental toll. These chemicals seep into the soil, polluting groundwater and negatively impacting local ecosystems. So what we have here is a classic case of profit over people and planet. A multi-billion-dollar company benefits from the sweat and toil of underpaid farmers, while our environment bears the brunt of unsustainable farming practices. It's a story that's largely hidden from view, obscured by the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the allure of the Starbucks brand. But it's a story that needs to be told for the sake of those farmers and our environment. Quite a bitter taste, isn't it? Starbucks' financial practices have also stirred up quite a storm. Let's take a moment to delve into the murky waters of tax evasion controversies that this caffeine giant has found itself embroiled in. Starbucks, with its iconic green mermaid logo, is no stranger to financial controversy. In fact, the company has faced accusations of tax evasion in multiple countries. This isn't a simple case of forgetting to carry the 1 or 2 on a tax form. Oh no. We're talking about a complex, intricate web of financial structures allegedly designed to minimize Starbucks' tax obligations. Let's take a journey across the pond to the United Kingdom, where in 2012 the public was left aghast when it was revealed that Starbucks had paid only a fraction in corporation tax despite making sales worth billions. The company's explanation? They were operating at a loss. A loss in spite of those long lines we see every morning. It's a bit of a head scratcher, isn't it? Then there's the case of the European Union. In 2015, the EU ordered Starbucks to pay up to 30 million euros in back taxes to the Netherlands. The reason? Starbucks' sweetheart deal with the Dutch tax authorities was deemed illegal. The company was accused of shifting profits between its subsidiaries to lower its tax bill. And let's not forget about Australia. In 2012, the land down under was up in arms when it was reported that Starbucks had paid less than 1% in tax on over $100 million in revenue. These controversies have left a bitter taste in the mouths of many, leading to calls for greater transparency and fair tax practices. Whether Starbucks is an adept navigator of global tax laws or a corporate villain skirting its responsibilities is a debate that continues to percolate. A hot cup of controversy, wouldn't you agree? But the bitter brew doesn't end there. It goes all the way to the baristas. Imagine walking into your local Starbucks, greeted by the warm scent of coffee and the friendly smile of the barista behind the counter. Now take a moment to think about the individual serving you your favorite latte. What you might not know is that they could be brewing up more than just your morning pick-me-up. They might be steeping in a pot of discontent. Starbucks, a company known for its global reach and seemingly endless menu of coffee concoctions, has been accused of less than savory labor practices. From allegations of poor working conditions to claims of low wages, the shiny Starbucks veneer begins to lose its luster when you delve deeper into the lives of the people behind the aprons. Consider the barista who works at lightning speed to keep up with the morning rush, the one who remembers your order and greets you with a smile. They're working in a high-pressure environment, often understaffed and overworked. They're the ones dealing with the brunt of customer complaints, the ones handling the scalding hot coffee, and the ones clocking out after a long day with a paycheck that barely covers the bills. These accusations aren't just hearsay. There have been instances where Starbucks workers have had enough and decided to speak out. They've organized protests, walked out, and expressed their grievances about the company's alleged unfair labor practices. They've taken to social media to share their stories, shining a light on what goes on behind the counter. But why does this matter? It matters because every time we walk into a Starbucks and order a drink, we're indirectly supporting the system that these workers are protesting against. We're fueling a corporation that, according to these allegations, doesn't value its workers as much as it should. So next time you see your barista, remember that there's more to their job than meets the eye. There's a whole latte trouble brewing behind the scenes, and it's about time we started paying attention. A grim reality behind that friendly barista smile. So, the Starbucks we know and love might not be as perfect as it appears. This journey we've embarked on together has unveiled the less savored flavors of Starbucks' global popularity. It's a tale as intricate as the aroma of your favorite brew, where each component plays its part. The sourcing of coffee beans, for instance, is a critical stage in the Starbucks story. The company's success is built on the back of those beans, but as we've seen, the path from farm to cup isn't always as ethical as we'd hope. Coffee farmers in developing countries often grapple with low wages and poor working conditions, their struggles hidden behind the gleaming Starbucks logo. Then we have the tax evasion controversies. It's a bitter pill to swallow, knowing that a brand we've grown to trust has been involved in such murky practices. Tax evasion isn't just about money, it's about social responsibility. When corporations dodge taxes, it's the communities that suffer, the very communities that Starbucks proudly serves. And we can't overlook the labor discontent. The baristas who craft your favorite lattes and frappuccinos often deal with wage issues and unfavorable working conditions. They pour their efforts into every cup, yet their voices are often drowned out in the clamor for the next caffeine fix. But here's the thing. This isn't about demonizing Starbucks. It's about understanding the dark reality behind the Green Mermaid logo. It's about the power of conscious consumption. Every time you make a purchase, you're casting a vote for the kind of world you want to live in. And that's not just about Starbucks. It's about every brand, every product, every service. So let's invite change. Let's demand transparency and fair practices from the brands we patronize. Let's ensure that our choices reflect our values, because the power to shape the future of business and indeed the world is in your hands. The next time you sip your Starbucks coffee, remember, every cup has two sides.